Today we're going to start constructing the base for the model, of course the base for the case. I'm using juniper, that white wood that I said I wouldn't use. If I'm unhappy with it, then I'll go and get some more black art and remake the base. I've replaced the switch on the thickness planer, but I find it making quite a noise. So I've sent a little video to Proxon to see if I should worry about the noise. It seems to disappear when I put the board into the planer, but when there's nothing going through it, it really makes a racket. So not quite sure what it is, but it's working well. You're seeing it here with the side covers off. That was for Proxon's interest in case they wanted to see it, how it operated. This wood is juniper, and it's the light wood that I told you about. And this is the base of the case. I'm taking it down to 3/4 inch. And I'll take you through the process as we go forward. Well, it's been a long day, and we've been working on the base of the case most of the day. Rather than take you through all the mess, I just thought I'd show you what I've done. I measured the base, and then I prepared all of these pieces of wood, put them through the thickness planer, and I put a groove on each side of the wood. And then I have these long biscuits that I've prepared, and we'll stick each one of them, and they fit inside the groove and fit inside one another. And we're going to stick this up. I don't have a big flat surface, but I do have a nice tabletop that's absolutely flat, which is the top of my table saw. So this is in fact the surface that I stick everything on. In sticking this, I put greaseproof paper on the bottom of it, so whatever glue gets on it, it's very easy to take off. And the top surface is turned upside down, so that if there's any imperfections, I can just put my hands and feel there's slight imperfections here. The surface at the bottom is going to be flat. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stick the base, and it's time to get going. She's all stuck, she's squared off. There are two ways to deal with epoxy. One is you can leave it and take it off with a sharp chisel or a sharp blade, or you can wipe it out. Because this is the bottom, I'm going to wipe it out. If it was on the other side, I would probably leave it and take it off with the sharp. So this will just make the job of cleaning up the bottom that much easier. As soon as this is finished, we're then going to clamp it up, and then we're going to put some weights on it to make sure it's absolutely flat. Remember, I had some warping with the other frame. I certainly don't want that to happen here. So that's it. She's all clamped up now. So give you an idea. That's the finished surface. I can see I have some work to do there, but that's fine. And then the last little issue is I'm going to put a big heavy weight on this to keep it flat, so that I don't have a repeat of my warping problem. Heavy piece of metal, It must weigh 150 pounds, and it's ideal for keeping everything flat. This is the outside edge. When we've cleaned up that square, we'll cut it to fit on the inside of this square, so we'll get nice clean edges all around. I believe in the never have enough clamp club. Of course, clamps with deep throats are hard to find and very important when you're doing this. I just had enough deep-throated clamps that could get to the inside and keep the boards level. So we'll wait until this dries and do a light sand and give you a peek at it at that stage. Well, we've taken it out the clamps and just given it its first sanding. Still a lot of work to be done, but it's a nice base for a case. Not sure it's a nice base for this case, but it's a nice base. Well, she's all complete. The termite fluid is on, and a few little errors in it. Never claimed to be a great carpenter. So time to put the first coat on. We leave that dry for a while and then give it a nice good sanding with probably some 400 paper, and then we'll put 3 coats on it after that. Well, this is the second to last coat. I've also got the rail to keep the case in place. Made a few errors, but if you don't see them, I'm certainly not going to point them out to you. So all in all, it looks pretty good, and I have to say the contrast between this and the darker black heartwood looks quite acceptable. There we go. The case has a front and a back, and we have it back on the cradle. So we're ready to go. There we go. These hex head bolts, I tend to use a washer as well, simply to make sure that when you tighten it up, and we're going to tighten it up pretty tight, that it doesn't pull the head into the board. So we've caught the back one, and we'll just tighten it up. And we're installed. We started, I was wondering if we'd ever get to this day. But there she is on her new final base. I have to say, very pleased, very pleased. We're back in the shop, and just thought I'd show you some of the little details. This little space here is left because in the case, the head of the hex bolt fits in that space, just keeping in the maritime look. I hope those of you who see the video will find it of interest. I'm not sure I'm going to do another one like this, but I certainly enjoyed doing this So to all my friends and colleagues on the internet that have looked at the video, I hope you appreciate it for what it is and what it attempts to do. And all I can say is encourage those of you who are looking at it, maybe for the first time, to join us and become modelers. My next project is the Swan Practicum,